All right. Hello, everybody. This is Zaxtorian 99. Today, I want to talk about a true hero in the National Football League. I want to say that sometimes we, as people, as humans, we have a passion, whatever it is, a passion in our lives that drives us forward. And sometimes we may not, achieve our goals in whatever that passion is. Tony Romo has been a part of the Dallas Cowboys since he was drafted as an undrafted player. And he sat on the bench in the Cowboys for several years before he was put into play in the middle of 2006 when Drew Bledsoe was taken off. And from the very start, Tony Romo proved that he was a very agile, very smart, and very poised gunslinger who was willing to take chances to try to help his team win. It pains me to see such a class act guy like Tony Romo continue to go through injury after injury after injury, and I expressed that last Thanksgiving Day when I made a video after Tony Romo took his second crushing injury against the Carolina Panthers on Thanksgiving Day. In that video, I said that Tony Romo is likely done. And even that if I was Tony Romo's wife, I would encourage him to retire after that game. But Tony Romo, with a heart of a champion, got surgery again and, practiced hard and went through training camp and tried to get ready for this season. And after everybody saying that he was looking better than ever, he came in for his first game in the third preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. The third play, he was crushed to the ground and suffered yet another 8 to 10 week long injury that needed a lot of time to heal. And even though he worked his butt off to get back and get healed and prepare to come back yet again after all the injuries he's had, in the meantime, the Cowboys' fourth-round quarterback, Dak Prescott, they drafted earlier last spring, to try to back up Tony Romo in case he did get hurt, has looked absolutely sensational, and he has helped the Cowboys get to the 8-1 record they're currently at. Dak Prescott has exceeded everybody's wildest expectations for a fourth-round quarterback taken in the draft. And with the Cowboys' offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott, who was drafted with a first pick in the draft, the Cowboys are looking really, really good. And we are starting to see more of these bandwagoner Cowboys fans that we never saw last year or the year before that or all the years before that. One thing I want to say to all you bandwagoner fans out there, for all the sports, where is all the Carolina Panther fans that we saw at this time of the year last year? I'm just saying. I don't see anybody walking around in Carolina jerseys like I did at this time last year. Now we're starting to see more Cowboy jerseys, as you walk through the mall and through supermarkets and stuff like that. It's amazing how many followers there are and how many people really won't commit to one team or another, whether it be football or basketball or whatever. Everybody's just always a fan of whoever's the hottest that year. You guys don't know true devotion. You guys don't know true devotion like fans like myself and so many other fans out there that stay loyal to one team, regardless of if they have a, horrible season or if they have a winning season. Tony Romo proved today that he is a true class act. And despite all the jokes and rumors and bad talk about Tony Romo, today, if he hasn't ever proved it before, I already knew it many years ago that the guy's a hell of a player and deserves to go to the Hall of Fame. But today, Tony Romo gave up on a lifelong dream when he's ready to come back from the injury he had in the preseason after working hard to get back and get healed. In the meantime, like I said, Dak Prescott has looked sensational. And where Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, has said, Tony Romo will definitely be our quarterback once he's healthy. Tony Romo didn't want to take that away from Dak Prescott. He didn't want there to be any kind of controversy with this Dallas Cowboys team. And I can't even imagine how hard it would be for a quarterback star like Tony Romo to give up a winning season and the opportunity to go through the playoffs and maybe get his first Super Bowl win, to give that to the young Dak Prescott and give over control of the team and the quarterback position to Dak. As a Cowboys fan and as a Tony Romo fan, watching this speech by Tony Romo, which he did live earlier today, pained me and hurt my heart. I love Tony Romo, and he is a class act, and he deserves all the credit in the world, especially for what he's done today by not putting his team through the quarterback controversy, drama, and giving up full control to Dak Prescott. Let's go ahead and see how much it pained him just to give the speech. I think you can tell in his words what he went through. Let's take a look.
Feels like we just did this yesterday.
Tony started off, do you?
Well, one sec, Dave.
Okay.
First, I just came up here to talk to you guys. I wrote something, I put it together that I really just wanted to read more. I know you have a lot of questions, as many of you have hounded me pretty much daily. Edward or Texas on the hour, but I'm not going to probably get to every. I'm not going to take any questions, so hopefully I answer most of them with what I'm saying here. And if I don't answer, I'm sure we'll talk in the future. So hopefully we're going to keep it short. I think it's for multiple reasons. One, I think it's in the best interest of our team. But we'll leave it at that. So I'm just going to read this, and hopefully you can just stay with me. And I don't think it'll be too long. But I think it does capture the essence a little bit of what your mindset is throughout all this, and our football team and the situation. So here we go. To say the first half of the season has been emotional would be a huge understatement. Getting hurt when you feel like you have the best team you've ever had was a soul-crushing moment for me. Then to learn it's not 3 or 4 weeks, but 10 is another blow. And through it all, you have a tremendous amount of guilt on having let your teammates, fans, and organization down. After all, they were depending on you to bring them a championship. That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do. That's how we're judged. I loved that. I still do. But then here you are, sidelined without any real ability to help your teammates win on the field. That's when you're forced to come face to face with what's happening. Seasons are fleeting. Games become more precious. Chances for success diminish. Your potential successor has arrived, injured 2 years in a row, and now in the mid-30s. The press is whispering. Everyone has doubts. You've spent your career working to get here. Now we have to start all over. You almost feel like an outsider. The coaches are sympathetic, but they still have to coach, and you're not there. It's a dark place. Probably the darkest it's ever been. You're sad and down and out, and you ask yourself, why did this have to happen? It's in this moment that you find out who you really are and what you're really about. You see, football is a meritocracy. You aren't handed anything. You earn everything, every single day, over and over again. You have to prove it. That's the way that the NFL, that's the way that football works. A great example of this is Dak Prescott and what he's done. He's earned the right to be our quarterback. As hard as that is for me to say, he's earned that right. He's guided our team to an 8-1 record, and that's hard to do. If you think for a second that I don't want to be out there, then you've probably never felt the pure ecstasy of competing and winning. That hasn't left me. In fact, it may burn more now than ever. It's not always easy to watch. I think anybody who's been in this position understands that. But what is clear is that I was that kid once. stepping in, having to prove yourself. I remember the feeling like it was yesterday. It really is an incredible time in your life. And if I remember one thing from back then, it's the people that helped me along when I was young. And if I can be that to Dak, I've tried to be, and I will be going forward. I think you all know something magical is happening to our team. I'm not going to allow this situation to negatively affect Dak or this football team by becoming a constant distraction. I think Dak knows that I have his back, and I think I know that he has mine. Ultimately, it's about the team. It's what we've preached our entire lives. I can remember when I was a kid just starting out and wanting to be a part of something bigger than myself. For every high school kid out there or college player, there's greatness in being the kind of teammate who truly wants to be part of a team. Everyone wants to be the reason they're winning or losing. Every single one of us wants to be that person. But there are special moments that come from a shared commitment to play your role while doing it together. That's what you'll remember. Not your stats or your prestige, but the relationships and the achievement that you created through a group. It's hard to do, but there's great joy in that. And all the while, your desire burns to be the best you've ever been. You can be both. I figured that out in this process. It's what separates sports from everything else. It's why we love it. It's why we trust it. It's why I still want to play and compete. Lastly, I just want to leave you with something I've learned in this process as well. I feel like we all have two battles or two enemies going on. One with the man across from you. The second is with the man inside of you. I think once you control the one inside of you, the one across from you really doesn't matter. And I think that's what we're all trying to do.
And again, if you ask me, those are the words of a true hero, quarterback Tony Romo. With that, I expect to see Romo either retire after the season or be traded to some other team to play out the rest of his career in the NFL. So long, Tony Romo. Hello, Dak Prescott. I really wish Tony Romo could have got that Super Bowl ring and been there for it all. But hopefully, being on the sidelines, hopefully Dallas will go far, and he'll be a part of that this season. Thanks so much, Tony Romo. From a fan here, Zaxtorian 99. Take care, everybody.